biggest mistake of my life was dating my classmate, Miley. One time she told me, "Sorry, but I forgot to close the front door yesterday. Your dog ran away." What? Why didn't you tell me that earlier? Oh, relax. You didn't even notice he was gone, so just forget about him. Well, Miley had never worked a day in her life. She only cared about Instagram and shopping. Maybe that's why she dated me. I had a $300,000 salary, and I kinda enjoyed funding her lifestyle. It made me feel like I was her daddy. She said, "Look at the dress I bought today. It's from Gucci." How much did it cost? Oh, I didn't look at the price tag. You have to check your credit card bill. Deep down, I probably knew she was a gold digger. But on our wedding day, I said, "You are the love of my life, so I decided to pay for your college degree if you want one." Oh my God, yes, thank you. I will study very hard and get good grades. But that never happened. Instead of going to classes, she went shopping at designer boutiques. That's how we got $20,000 into debt. I should have set boundaries, but instead, I just told myself to get another promotion at work so I could better afford her expensive lifestyle. I put 70 hours a week into my job, but she still complained, saying, "Why are you so boring? Why can't you be cool and funny like other guys?" And maybe she was right. I didn't have the best sense of humor, so I signed up for comedy classes and tried to become funnier. But when she found out about my new hobby, she said, "Oh, I hope no one finds out my husband isn't funny and needs to take comedy classes. That's so embarrassing." I was never good enough for her. But when we went to Hawaii for our honeymoon, she developed a crush on our super handsome tour guide. I love surfing in the ocean. It's my passion. Wow, I bet you have many girls running after you. Sure, but I only choose the prettiest. They kept flirting for 2 hours, even though this was my honeymoon. I was furious. And then the tour guide said to me, "Be careful, I won't steal your girl. You have to step up your game, or she will sleep in my bed tonight." I was glad when it was over, but Miley kept complaining. "Why can't you be like the tour guide? He was so funny and interesting." Well, 2 weeks later, my mom got very sick. I wanted to move in with her as support, but Miley said, "No, I want you to stay here with me and treat me like I'm the only woman in the world. Forget about your mom." "But she needs my help." "Oh, stop it. Get her a caretaker and everything will be fine." However, I could only afford a part-time caretaker. So when my mom went to the bathroom at night, she fell and broke her leg. She was in extreme pain until her caretaker found her the next morning. I knew this was all Miley's fault. I wanted to dump her, but I was too afraid and put it off. Then, a week later, she told me she was pregnant. And for some strange reason, that changed her. Suddenly, she treated me like a king. "You look great today." "Really? I've gained some weight." "To me, you are perfect. I love you just the way you are." Why was she suddenly so nice to me? "Love you just the way you are." Why was she suddenly so nice to me? I concluded that being pregnant made her more family-oriented. But oh boy was I wrong about that. When the baby arrived, he was the wrong color. Obviously, Miley had cheated on me with a black guy. I was too embarrassed to confront her at the hospital, so I waited for her at home. She came and said, "I'm sorry. I made a big mistake, and I understand that you were mad at me." "Why didn't you tell me earlier about your mistake?" "Because I'm stupid, and I thought the baby might be yours." "So how did it happen?" "You were at one of your stupid comedy classes while I went to a college party. I got drunk, and there was this guy, and it happened." "So you were pregnant and didn't know whose baby it was?" "I had no idea, and it was terrible not knowing, but I couldn't tell you in case you got mad." "Enough! Get out of here! I'm done with you." "But babe, don't I deserve a second chance?" "Why? Because you are hot? Because you have big breasts? I don't care anymore. You can't expect me to raise the child of another man." "And what if I get pregnant again, and this time it's your child?" "Get out!" "Fine then, divorce me, but I'm married to you and own half of this house. I'm gonna stay." She was such a devil. But suddenly I felt grateful, because if Miley had gotten pregnant by a white guy, I would have never found out that it wasn't my child. And at the divorce court, I was rewarded the whole house because I had bought it before our marriage. That's when she screamed.
I hope you and your mother both die and burn in hell!
Can you imagine? She had the audacity.
Hope you and your mother both die and burn in hell!
Can you imagine? She had the audacity to come and knock on my door. Please help me and my child. We need shelter. It was raining, and I would have let her in, but I was too afraid she would get violent and stab me with a knife or something. So I just let her stand in the rain. And it turns out that the father of the child wants nothing to do with Miley either. So she had to find a new guy she could exploit. But I still wasn't done with her. So I figured out who her new boyfriend was and met up with him. I said, "Did you know that Miley and I were married until I found out that she got pregnant by another man?" He was shocked. Of course, Miley hadn't told him about it. The guy broke up with her the same week and sent me a text saying,
"Thank you for saving my life."
But the real victim here is Miley's poor son. With a mom like his, he's been dealt some bad cards in life.
I'm Camille, and this story is about my crazy mother. She had a new boyfriend every week, and one time she even dated her own cousin. It was so gross, but everything changed when she met Michael. He was a decent guy with a stable job, no drug problems, and no former arrests by the police. So when they got married, I was truly happy for them. But, of course, my mom had to ruin everything, because one day, my boyfriend and I came home late. We were completely wasted, and while I went to bed, he fell asleep on the couch. The next morning, he sent me a really disturbed message saying that my mom had made out with him last night while it was dark. He said he didn't notice it was my mom until it was too late, and they, you know what. Well, this wasn't the first time she had tried to destroy my life. Back when I was 14, I asked her to stop wearing miniskirts because it was embarrassing. But the next day, she stormed into my school class wearing the shortest miniskirt I'd ever seen and screamed, "My daughter Camille thinks I'm an embarrassment. She doesn't want her mother to dress like a b***." Afterwards, I was made fun of for years. But this time, she had slept with my boyfriend and taken things too far. I knew I had to take my revenge. So the next morning, I came very close to her husband, Michael, and said, "Stepdaddy, can you make me some breakfast?" I even fluttered my eyes. "Can you make me some breakfast?" I even fluttered my eyes at him, but he just ignored it. In the end, I showed him my boyfriend's SMS and told him that his wife had slept with my boyfriend. And for the first time, I saw him getting angry. I mean, no wonder. He had treated my mom with so much respect, and in return, she had cheated on him with a 20-year-old boy. I knew he deserved someone better, and that person was me. I'm not allowed to talk about the details here on YouTube, but let's just say that for the next few months, me and my stepdad Michael had a very close relationship, and somehow I got pregnant. At first, I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep the baby, but then I realized that having a kid with my mom's husband was the ultimate revenge on her. And Michael was a good catch anyway, so I had nothing to lose. But when I told her I was pregnant without knowing who the father was, she started laughing and said she had always known I would end up as a single mother. I got so mad. I was about to tell her the truth, but I knew it wasn't the right moment. And for the next few months, Michael took great care of me, even though my mom didn't like it. She said, "Michael, stop cooking her meals. She has to learn to be a single mom because that's what she is." It went on like this until I was giving birth. My mom was right next to me, making one sarcastic comment after the other, like, "Oh, this baby will be a problem child. It's already causing lots of trouble." At some point, I had enough and couldn't take it anymore. I screamed, "Michael got me pregnant. Your stupid husband got me pregnant. It's his child, you stupid." "Michael got me pregnant. Your stupid husband got me pregnant. It's his child, you stupid." I'll never forget the look on her face. At first, she was just quiet. She wasn't sure if I was making a joke or not, but when she realized I wasn't joking, she went berserk, and it took 3 doctors to keep her away from me. Meanwhile, I was laughing so hard I almost fell out of bed. I knew I had finally gotten my revenge. And after I had given birth, Michael came inside to take a look at his daughter. I immediately knew he would be a great father. But then I noticed that he had a big bruise on his face. I asked what happened, and he said my mom had attacked him in the hospital lobby, screaming, "You got my daughter pregnant! You pig! I'll divorce you, you dirty piece of shit!" And afterwards, the police had to arrest her. We both started laughing, even though we knew this wasn't over yet. The next day, my stepdad went to work, but when he stepped out of his car, my mom drove her car right into him. Luckily, she missed him, and now she's serving a 5-year prison sentence for attempted murder. Of course, I feel bad for her. That's also why I decided to visit her in prison to apologize. But when she saw me, she went nuclear again, hitting against the window and screaming like a psycho. It was so scary, but I couldn't resist laughing again. Please understand that she had always been a terrible mom. When I was 9 and having summer vacation, she disappeared for 2 weeks. I was petrified and not sure if she was still alive, so I just hid inside my wardrobe all day and night. When she finally came back, I ran up to her to take her into my arms, but she just pushed me away and told me to go to sleep. To be fair, though, there were some funny moments. One time, she broke into our neighbor's garage and stole his lawnmower. And 1 week later, she did a garage sale and sold the same lawnmower she had stolen back to its previous owner for $100. Another time, I told her that my teacher was picking on me, and the next day, she stormed into my school and physically attacked that teacher. That's probably not the best way to show your love, but it still counts.